Coach Love, comment, raise your hand for me. Please keep them up. Look at you.
How's everybody? Well, I'm really proud of our guys, the way they competed in the game, kept fighting in the game, had to overcome a lot of adversity, in this game. Huge swing in the first half when, we got a 1st and 2 at the 2 and throw a pick, and we actually have a chance to go up to 14-0, and then they run it back 50 yards and go score a touchdown on that drive. So that was a big swing, and then it was a huge swing. Diggs was a return for a touchdown on 4th and 1 at the 1. Great goal line stand by our players down there to even be in that situation. But I was really pleased with the way our guys grounded out, found a way to win. I thought Najee really ran the ball well in the game. Offensive line did a pretty good job on the direct runs. That really was helpful to us, and I just really pleased with the way this is the first time we really had to grind one out, and we really had to make plays. I think the defense played a lot better, except for one situation in the game, which is 3rd down. I mean, we had too many opportunities to get off the field on 3rd down. I think they were 7 of 15 on 3rd down, which kept a lot of their drives going, and that helped them maintain possession of the ball, and in some cases affect field position. So Mac did some good things, and we think Mac is capable. So we got a lot of confidence in Mac. I think the players have confidence in Mac, and Tua will probably be out for a week. I don't know the extent. He's got a twisted ankle, but I think it's probably not going to be able to play for this next game. So I know he's going to get another MRI and all that in the morning, and then they'll decide exactly what to do from there. I didn't really have Will Reichert, may have re-injured. He said this thing never hurt him at all, punting. He was a little skeptical about kicking. So even though he has kicked some, so and he kicked in pregame, punted in pregame fine, and then I think he might have re-injured himself, but we don't know the extent of that injury, either. But I thought it was a great atmosphere out there. Tonight our fans were really supportive, great spirit, great energy in the stadium. I kind of like the lights and all that. I know somebody's going to ask me that. As long as they got the good ones on when we're playing, I'm good. And they seem to do a pretty good job of choreographing all that.
All right, Coach, we'll start over here on the left with Michael.
What was the message to Mac when he came into the game, and how did he respond at halftime?
Well, Tua came out of the game. I didn't even know he was hurt. We called timeout because the shot clock was running out, and he said he felt like he twisted his ankle, and so we took him out. Mac had to go in. So you don't really have time to give him a pep talk or anything. I think when you're a backup player, you got to be ready to go in. That's why everybody's got to prepare well during the week, and be focused on what they have to do to go in and be able to execute. And we'll try to get Mac doing the things that he can do well, and we got a lot of good players on offense, and try to feature what they can do to help them.
Right over there.
What did you think of the movement you got from your offensive line tonight?
I thought they did a good job, especially on the direct runs. We seemed to have more trouble running the ball on the edges. We couldn't run the ball on the edges, but the direct runs were really good for us. And when you do that, that means that people up front are getting movement on people, and the backs are hitting the north and south. And I thought they did a really good job from that standpoint.
Stay over there with James.
You mentioned the one goal line stand, but I was curious what else you saw out of your red zone defense. Tennessee gave you some help with some penalties, but what did you see out of your execution in the red zone?
Yeah, well, we gave them some help too. So we had a couple pass interferences on 3rd down that, probably wouldn't have been balls that they would have caught. So we gave them some help too. Obviously, the big penalty was the roughing the passer that kept a drive going, and we all went down and went up to 28. So. Look, I didn't see it. I was watching the coverage and the routes and all that, so I can't comment on the call at all. There were a lot of penalties in the game. It's something that we've really been emphasizing with our players. But we didn't have a lot of undisciplined penalties in this game. We just got to do a better job of playing the ball so that we don't get pass interference penalties on third down. They kill you.
Up front here with Chris Walsh.
Two things, please. Is Tua's ankle the same one he had surgery on?
No.
Okay. And did you like your team's intensity tonight?
Did what?
Intensity?
What about it?
Your team's intensity. Did you like? Do you think they played really intense?
Yeah, I thought they did. You got to give Tennessee a lot of credit, man. Those guys played hard. They do a really good job coaching-wise. They gave us a lot of formation variations that, were difficult. They came to run the ball and shrink the game, and they were able to do that. I thought our energy was really good at the beginning of the game. We came out and scored, all right, and then we're ready to score again. Stopped 3 and out to start the game. And I think our guys, grinded it out and competed. It was a tough game. So I know the expectation is you think we're going to go out there and score 58 points on everybody, and nobody's going to make a first down, and I don't think that's realistic. It's our goal to try to be perfect. That's what we shoot for all the time. And we know that's impossible. But somewhere along the line, we just hope we can get to being excellent. All right, and we're not there yet. We got a lot of young players playing out there in a lot of positions, and it's a work in progress to try to get them to play better. So we got to play one game at a time and try to continue to improve. And everybody's got to do more. I said this on the radio show or at Nick at Noon or whenever. You came to Alabama to try to be the best. You came to Alabama to try to win a championship. So there's a responsibility that goes with that. Everybody's got to play with more discipline. Everybody's got to have more mental energy and intensity and be able to sustain and consistently do their job at a high level and to a high standard. And everybody's got to do that. So everybody's got to do more. We got to do more to get better. And if everybody buys into that, we'll get better.
Coach in the back with Tony.
What did you see from Ty Perian and just at punter?
What did you see from the punter, Ty? 99.
What'd you see from him? I saw him punt 2 punts, and he punted them really, really well. Really well. So we're happy to see that. He's a guy that's just a walk-on that, has gotten better throughout the course of the year, and we thought that it's time for him to get an opportunity based on some of the struggles that we've had at that position, and I thought he responded really well.
Coach, we're going to finish up in the middle right here, Tennessee.
Shane Lee has had 2 good games in a row. I was wondering if you could comment on his performances recently and just the linebackers as a whole being so young and how they've played as of recent.
So you say he did have 2 good games in a row? Good. Then that's your evaluation, so that's good. How do you know he had 2 good games in a row? Who said that? Who told you that? We're pleased with his progress. He's making progress. There were some mental errors that were made out there today by those guys that, gave them an opportunity to make some 25-yard runs. So we need to get those things corrected. I'm pleased with the progress these guys are making. But, the one thing about these guys that I don't think anybody realizes is we had 3 linebackers who had experience and had played around here. One of them went out for the draft. The other 2 got injured for the year. We don't have one guy past those that ever played in a game. So these 2 freshmen are out there every day in practice. They don't even have somebody in front of them that can sort of give them a good example of how they need to do it. Does that make sense? So they got to learn everything through their experiences. And it's a work in progress. And every game we get different stuff. All right, and when you understand the basics of what you're supposed to do, then you have a lot better, easier time trying to adjust in the game. So, we're not satisfied with where we are, but we're pleased with the progress. Those guys are both hard workers. They're very conscientious, and I'm extremely pleased with their effort and what they're trying to do to be the best players they can be.
All right, Coach, thank you. Well done.